Trump just let gun owners know, I not only have your back for the next 4 years, but for the next 10 years into the future.
I always call it massive. Sometimes they say huge.
That's what we're going to talk about today as I show you the series of events that I believe Trump has set up for this exact moment to preserve, protect, restore, and expand the rights of gun owners all across the United States. And how he does this is through his newly appointed FBI director and his long-awaited director of the ATF, who is actually the same person, Kash Patel. I'm going to show you how he can work at the FBI, how he can do work at the ATF, do a good job at both, and work on the restoration and expansion of our rights at both agencies. Now, on the surface, you may be thinking, dude, that's way too much for one guy. But as we get under the surface and look at how Kash approaches this, from his own words, it may not be as hard as you think. So I want to tell you what I think he's going to do, how he's going to do that job, and some of the series of events that Trump has set up. Love to hear from you guys. If you have the same opinion, different opinion, whatever it is, leave that down below. Let me know what you think about Kash Patel and how he's going to do at the ATF and the FBI. Let's go and get into it. So let's look at the series of events up to this point really quick. Christopher Wray leaves the FBI. Dettelbach leaves the ATF. Trump signs an executive order talking about gun rights and the infringements that have been placed upon us. So Pam Bondi has 30 days to look at any of these infringements and come up with a list and present it to Trump. And then Pam Bondi fires Pamela Hicks, who was the chief counsel at the ATF. This is a big one. This is somebody that you wanted out of that position because her job was implementing these gun laws, rules. She essentially was in charge of pushing forward on Biden and Dettelbach's agenda at the ATF to restrict your rights. That's somebody you definitely want far away from any position in government ever again. She's gone. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel have a very close working relationship. Kash Patel also has a close relationship with Gun Owners of America. So this series of events leads up to the FBI. So how can he expand our rights at the FBI? Well, I did a video back in January, so I'm not going to rehash all of it. But one thing he can let the FBI know is, hey, you're spying of Americans and gun owners? Yeah, that stops today. Using FISA to spy on gun owners that they thought might have committed a crime in the future and using resources to literally keep tabs on you and me. Boom, you cut that off. The other thing, the FBI is in charge of NICS. NICS is a broken system. Now, if you're somebody watching this video and you hear my position saying background checks are absolutely useless, you may say that's extreme. Well, no, it's not. Because background check system, the background check system, which is called NICS, is fundamentally broken. It depends on information that's put in, information that's not put in, information that is omitted, and information that is maybe or maybe not submitted, and they do a terrible job at it. There are certain states that use their own people for inputting information in the NICS. If you have your gun rights restored, maybe they do put the information in, maybe they don't. The thing is, if background check systems worked, then bad guys wouldn't get guns. The problem is, they don't go through the legal channels that we do. They go through other methods. Stealing, black market. That's what they do. They're criminals. They don't care about your laws. The only people this affects is law-abiding gun owners. And NICS has cost the lives of gun owners in the United States, of regular Americans. People that knew their lives were in danger, they went to buy a firearm, and because of some state mandated or the wrong information or whatever was put in, they lost their lives waiting on approval to get that firearm.
She installed security cameras. She took out a restraining order, and she applied for a gun permit in April. But she was still waiting for that permit to be approved the night she was.
I'm really interested to kind of see how Kash will approach the background check system. But one thing we know he doesn't have to do is enhanced backgrounds and unfairly targeting 18 to 20-year-olds and their ability to exercise their rights. I don't know if he gets the background check system eliminated altogether or changed. Of course, this would have to go through Senate, and they would have to go through Congress essentially in order to be eliminated or changed. But maybe guts it entirely, make sure that all information is put in there correctly, and waiting periods and all of that kind of crap just goes away, because you should not ever be able to restrict the rights of gun owners by putting some waiting period because your information is wrong. It is not right. Based on everything we know about Kash Patel, he could absolutely do a ton of things to further our rights. But with both agencies, and this is kind of one of those things like where people are like, how can he run both? Well, Kash all but told us
that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops.
And he said he's going to turn that building into a museum of the deep state, which is funny, and that would be awesome. I think a lot of us would visit that museum. So he takes those 7,000 employees, puts them into the field. Well, he could do the same thing with the ATF. Stopping criminals, stopping things coming over the border that are taking tens of thousands of lives of Americans every single year. Helping to make America safe. We have a good understanding of what he could do. Right now, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, again, would have to go through Congress to completely eliminate it, but that doesn't mean you have to enact all of that stuff. Remember, the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, that was officially shut down day one when Trump took his oath. So there's that as well. There's a whole list of things that Kash can put into place to restore the rights to gun owners, to preserve those rights, to take the heat and attention off of us and put it on something that protects us. Taking those agents, making sure that they're doing a job that serves us, not works against us. And so by taking all the side missions out of the FBI, the FISA, the NICS, the enhanced background checks, the ATF, rulemaking, restriction, clerical errors for gun shop owners. But you just made that position a heck of a lot easier from the outside looking in, right? You took out all the side quests. It's like a video game. You just got straight to the point, right to the main mission, and that's exactly how he can run them both effectively at the same time. There's also a proposed budget cut to the ATF of almost $200 million. Do I feel bad for them? No. I mean, they still operate on almost $2 billion a year, so I don't feel bad at all. Now, Lauren Boebert has actually introduced a bill to defund the ATF all the way around, to abolish it actually, not just defund it, but abolish it. So even further thinking, maybe the ATF won't be around long enough for Kash to even worry about having to take on both of these positions. Maybe, just maybe, after the restoration of rights, removing rules and laws off the books that has to be done, then, only then, do you shut down the ATF once and for all. And now, guess what? Kash Patel is back to one job for the next decade. That confirmation is good for a decade. This is a guy that you want in charge of the ATF for as long as it may be there. Maybe not long at all, we'll have to see, but there is a lot to do with the ATF before he shuts it down, but maybe that's the whole goal in the end. That's my opinion, and that is the series of events that I believe Trump has set up, and how Kash Patel can run both agencies and further our interests as gun owners. If you agree or disagree, let me know what you think down below about Kash Patel and what you think he may do either at the FBI or the ATF. Leave your opinion down below. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. See you in the next one. And as always, hold 'em down.